Hi, my name is Kevin Kraut, and I'm the son of Adam Kraut, who wrote many books on early Mormonism. The subject we're going to talk about right now is called the Adam God Doctrine. The Adam God Doctrine is quite popular amongst the Mormon fundamentalist people, and of course the reason is because in the Journal of Discourses, page 1, or volume 1, page 50, was the very first time that Brigham Young introduced this to open public when we finally got here in the valley and he could speak freely. And he says, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. I'm going to talk a little bit more on spiritual things. And so he started presenting this concept, this doctrine. And the doctrine, some people just can't understand it. I mean, Dad taught the doctrine to a guy for probably 4 or 5 hours one day, and the guy said, I just don't get it, I just don't get it, I don't know if I'll ever get it. And Dad sat there for a few minutes and he said, he grabbed his hat and put it on and he says, nope, I don't think you're ever going to get it, and walked out the door. He's done. He figured he just was not going to understand the Adam God Doctrine. The Adam God Doctrine is pretty basic. One day, Dad called Hugh Nibley and asked him, well, gee, Hugh, and some of these old Egyptian things, don't they have a lot of Adam God Doctrine, or does it not taught? Or, he goes, oh man, it's everywhere in that stuff. I mean, it's all over. Some stories are actually funny. Dad goes, really? And he says, yeah, there's one where it's pretty simplified. He says there was the Council of Gods, and they had created this earth, and they had to go down and people it. And then they all looked at each other and said, well, who's going to go down and people it? Well, nobody wanted to go back down in mortality, so, everybody's kind of like, so basically what happened was they drew straws, and there was one guy over there, and he wasn't really paying attention. He was reading a book or something, and Hugh says he was like me, he wasn't really paying attention to reading a book. And so, anyway, so then he went over to, they gave him the short end of the stick. And so he says, no, I don't want to go. I do not want to go down in mortality again. I said, no, you have to go. And so they picked him up and they threw him down, and he was running, and as he was running to the earth, he fell down in this fairy tale or whatever, and he bumped his nose, and he looked at his nose and he goes, oh man, blood. Oh no, I'm immortal. And so he's really upset. And so there's a short kind of connection of how that happened, or what they meant by the Adam God Doctrine. And so there's several books on it. My father wrote a book, I don't have it right here, but it's called Michael Adam, which tells how Michael was Adam. And then there's another book. This book is called Adam God by Craig Tholson. And this is the Adam God Maze. It's done by Coley Christensen. This one doesn't have the actual cover. There was kind of a cover with the stained glass window of Adam and Eve being cast from the garden. I think that was on one of the temples. But anyway, so the Adam God Maze, he was actually a doctor who witnessed John Singer's body after they shot it. It was kind of interesting. This was Drew Briney. He wrote this, Understanding Adam God Teachings. It's probably the most comprehensive one. Drew went through and grabbed as many references as he could find almost anywhere on the Adam God Doctrine and kind of put them all in here. It's pretty good encyclopedic type of book on that. Dad's is very short, tries to get to the point, explain the doctrine in detail. You can go on the website, ogdenkraut.com, under Michael Adam, and read that book for free. Okay.